Today we are going to take a look at the Transformers Universe 2-pack featuring ROADBUSTER and DIRGE. And these two figures do come with an issue of the Transformers The War Within comic. And the figures do come with two Cyber Planet keys, one for ROADBUSTER and one for DIRGE. So these two figures are based on the figures from the 2006, I believe, Transformers Cybertron toy line. And one of the key features of these toys that I like is the fact that they are fairly easy to transform. In fact, if you watch the cartoon, during the transformation sequences, you'll see a detailed animation of how they transform, and you can pretty much get the idea of how to transform the actual toy. So the actual transformation on the screen on the cartoon follows closely with how the actual toy transforms in real life. So that's pretty cool. And like I say, they're relatively easy to transform. So relatively basic, relatively easy to transform. And that's not a bad thing. I actually appreciate that characteristic of these toys. So first off, we're going to say goodbye to Mr. Dirge for now, and we're going to focus on ROADBUSTER. So you can see there's a lot of nice details here. It's actually, the details really show up in the vehicle mode. But as far as accessories go, he does come with a knife, which does store actually on the vehicle mode, which I'll show you later, and a lot of weaponry. So starting with the back here, you can see he has some, I guess these are missiles or guns or some sort of weapon, and they can actually, this whole assembly here can rotate upwards like that, so it's kind of going over his shoulders. And then what you can do, you can take his Cyber Planet key. There's a slot back here which that goes into, and then as you press that key into the slot, out pop these missile racks. You can see there, pretty cool. So in addition to that, on his shoulders he has even more missile racks here, and also on his legs. So pretty neat there. He's well armed. Alright, so articulation, there's a swivel at the neck. Shoulders can go like that, just a little bit out. Of course, rotate all the way around. There actually is no bicep swivel or no bicep joint at all, because the way that transforms is like that, so there's really no swivel there, but there is a bend at the elbow. And below the elbow there is no articulation, one solid piece of plastic. No waist articulation. You have the skirt armor here that can rotate forward, allowing the leg to go farther forward. But there is actually a joint at the knee. And you could argue there's articulation here, but really that's more for the transformation. So relatively basic articulation, but it does what it needs to do, I think. So let me go ahead and get him ready for transformation into his armored truck mode. Okay, this one's going to go back here. I'm going to start up top with his arms. So take the arms here, collapse them. You can see these are going to form the side of the vehicle. Take his head, detach it here, rotate it back like that, and then his shoulders will come together, covering his head and forming the front of the vehicle mode here. And as for the skirt armor, as I mentioned before, I've found that this actually needs to be rotated down like that. That allows the back half to come forward and join with the front half. Go ahead and take the legs, put them together, take the feet, rotate them back, and that's going to form the rear of the vehicle. You want to take his pelvic area here, and it's going to go up and over. So if we can see here, it's going to go up and like that. You can see how it's sticking straight up now. And then collapse the legs, and then that should allow everything to come together. Yep. Then this thing is on a hinge mechanism, so that goes back like that. Oops, there we go. And there you got the armored truck mode, or militarized vehicle mode. Rolls really well. You can see all the detail here much better in vehicle mode. Just the sculpting is fantastic. Got the rivets here on the side. You can still operate the turret here. It rotates around 360, and you can still deploy the missile rack if you so desire. Now, as for the knife, it actually does store here. There's a little tab and a slot in the knife, and you can actually store on there like that, and I think you can actually put it on like that as well. So there you go, storage for the weapon. And now we come to DIRGE. Now, DIRGE here is based on the Transformers Cybertron Starscream figure. And if you're familiar with that line, you know that there was a Supreme class Starscream, which I do have, and then there was like a Voyager class Starscream. And that's what this figure is based on, is the Voyager class Starscream from Transformers Cybertron. So, the figure does come with one projectile weapon, and only one. So, fires the missile. Big deal, right? Only one. You can't mount them on the arms. You can't pretend they're like null rays, and there's only one of them. So, not my favorite weapon, so that just kind of goes off to the side. And I will show you my favorite weapon, or I should say weapons. So, keep your eyes on the little winglets here on this side as I put the Cyberplanet key back here in the slot. As I do so, out pop the blades. Pretty cool. Translucent smoky plastic, sculpted details in there. Really nice. Cool. I like it. So, those are his weapons. And just all you got to do is put them back here and they kind of just lock into place until you activate the Cyberplanet key gimmick. Alright, articulation on this guy. Appears just to have a swivel at the neck, nice ratchet at the shoulder, in and out like that. There's no waist articulation on this guy, but you got some nice ratchets at the hips, swivel and bend, and articulation at the ankles. Transformation. Take these wings back here, winglets I should say, and form the wing or the tail, and these should just peg together. There. Alright, take the aforementioned arms and peg them into the back of his shoulder, like that. So next up, I'm going to take the actual upper torso and take it like this. You can see it like that, and it's going to rotate up like that. It doesn't lock in yet. The next step I want to do is I'm going to take the actual feet here, and inside of the foot, on each foot, there's this pointy end. You want to take that pointy piece out. It's going to form the tip of the nose cone of the jet. Put the heels in. And then, if you look at it like this, you want to take the leg, rotate it like that. It's going to collapse on itself. And you just kind of need to find clearance between this part and here. Like so. And then take this section and rotate it like that. So there's one half of the jet mode. So same thing of course over here. Take the leg, flaps it. Find yourself some clearance to get this through. There it goes. Take this. Like that. And the whole front end should tab together. There's a couple pegs in holes. So just take this whole assembly and tab it together. And just make sure you got a good strong connection there. There you can hear that snap in place. So there it is, Dirge in his Cybertronian jet mode. Really nice looking, lots of nice sculpting detail as you can see. His head is, technically exposed. It's right there. There's no cover to hide it or anything like that. That's just like the original toy. So I'm used to it, but it may bother some people to have the head there. Here's a look at the back, underside. Really cool looking jet mode. Again, lots of nice sculpting detail everywhere. Fantastic. You've got some wheels here. The actual jet does not roll that well. I guess it's fairly decent. But there you go, it does have that rolling capability. And let's see, there's no way to attach the actual missile launcher, I don't think. I mean, you could probably, if you really wanted to, tab it here into his fist or something like that, but then it's not symmetrical. So I just usually leave it off, and there you go, jet mode for Dirge. You do have these little winglets here that articulate 180, so that's nice. Transformers Universe, ROADBUSTER, and DIRGE. If you find them for cheap, pick them up, as Aries 0083 would say. Alright, well thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys and gals later.